As you may know, on Tuesday, March 6th, the Board of Education passed a resolution to support a capital bond project for the May 15 vote. The project represents the highest priority work to maintain our buildings and the quality of our schools, and it is really deemed essential work in the area of health and safety and structural improvements. It's important to note that as the board considered supporting a capital bond project, our first priority of consideration was the impact on taxpayers. The borrowing for the project will not emerge until the 2014-15 school year. The impact on the average homeowner will be $7.50 per year for the next 4 years. There are several strategies that we've employed. First, we've had the opportunity recently to refinance existing debt. We anticipate a savings to the taxpayers at least $800,000. That money will go into our debt service fund and essentially be giving back to our taxpayers by smoothing out debt service over the next several years. In addition to that, we've issued a new borrowing last year, and the rates came in at 1.5% interest rates, which were obviously very favorable. Through efficient bidding and effective rates, we were able to save the taxpayers $1 million on our last major project, and that will be applied to the debt service and is certainly favorable to our long-term strategy. The project's primarily in 3 areas. It's plumbing infrastructure, as you may know, we have historic buildings that in some cases were constructed in the 1920s and 30s. And our buildings across the district still have original plumbing and plumbing infrastructure. And so for the first part of the bond is to address what I would say is original piping and plumbing that is really at the end of life. At the same time, within these older buildings, we still have original electrical panels. And so where we have the opportunity to have electricity come to our buildings to certainly support teaching and learning that is happening each day in our schools, we, through the antiquated electrical panels, have the problem of distributing electricity safely and efficiently. And so our objective there is to upgrade our electrical systems similar to our plumbing systems so that we can operate the schools day to day without interruption. The third piece is actually what we would call structural improvements. We have the steps in front of Murray Avenue School that have failed. They've become dangerous, and we've had to actually make adjustments to the steps to ensure the public safety. We have retaining walls that are falling apart and crumbling that we need to improve, and we need to repair the macadam in our 2 of our elementary schools. When we talk about efficiencies, it's important to highlight that efficiencies are not just relating to savings or cutting programs and people. That the idea behind looking for efficiencies is actually to improve the performance of the district, to in some ways enhance what we do in a more, I would say, thorough and effective manner. And so that that applies to really how we deliver instruction, how we conduct day-to-day activities, how we communicate with our constituents, how we operate our plants. And that the idea is how do we always look for efficiencies to improve upon and build upon our success as a public school district.